right, what everyone's been waiting for. I've been getting calls, I've been getting emails, everything. People want to see these picks because they rely on my expert knowledge on football so they can win money. And that's what I provide you. Week 6, National Football League. Picks. Chicago Bears at home. Giving the New York Giants 7.5. New York Giants are horrible. As far as I'm concerned, this line could have been 21 points. They're horrible. They laid down. They're done. Chicago Bears will destroy that team at home. So take the Bears, give it a 7.5. Kansas City, -9 at home against Oakland. Now it's an AFC West game. I think it's still called the West. Individual game. But you know what? I'm not from Kansas City, and I'm not from Missouri. Show me. Show me. I'm not a believer in the 5-0 Chiefs. I'm sorry. I'm not a believer. And I'm going to tell you something about Oakland right now. Terrell Pryor is the real deal. You give me Terrell Pryor over at least 25 quarterbacks in this league. At least 20. I'll say that, not 25. But I like Terrell Pryor. I like the Raiders' chances. They will keep it closer to 9. Take the Raiders. Philadelphia Eagles -1.5 at Tampa Bay. Well, they got rid of Josh Freeman. They finally cut ties. You know, I wish I had a tie right now so I could cut it in half. I do got a tie, but I'm not going to waste it and ruin it right now, even though I'll probably never wear a tie again. I know I won't wear a tie again, but I'm telling you. I should go get one and do it. Nah, whatever. Tampa Bay, cutting ties with Josh Freeman. They're 1.5-point underdogs at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. And, you know, whatever happened to Chip Kelly's explosive offense we talked about? Oh, it's so powerful. Did you actually think that was going to work in the National Football League? And anyone that did think it was going to work in the National Football League obviously don't know football. So, it didn't work. It's not going to work. But, consequently, you guys under the tutelage of Nicholas Foles, he will get... Hey, by the way, Nick Foles will be your starting quarterback. I mean, Michael Vick is garbage. He's garbage. Look, I know they say he's coming back when he started, but whatever. Shocking Eagles fans. I'm taking Eagles to cover with the 1.5-point given to Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. I think the Eagles win that game 24-7. I don't think Tampa Bay has any offense. Green Bay, 3-point favorite at Baltimore. You know, Baltimore Ravens, a home underdog. 3 points to Aaron Rodgers. A team that got beat by Cincinnati. They scored a lot of points, but they're not going to do that against... Let me tell you something. They're not going to do that against Baltimore. But Baltimore getting 3 points at home. I'm going to take the Ratbirds easily in that game. You're looking at about 21-14 win. Hey, look. You can't give the Ravens 3 points at home. You just can't. I'm sorry. 21-14 Ravens. 21-17 Ravens. Don't matter. You give them 3 points. You're still winning. You got 3 points. Whatever. Detroit. Now, here's another one. Cleveland's getting 2.5 points at home against Detroit. Now, I understand the logic here because Brandon Weeden, everyone's looking at him, you know. Look, let's be honest with you. Brandon Weeden didn't... And look, I'm the biggest Brandon Weeden detractor. I went from being on that bandwagon to being the biggest detractor. But in his defense, he was out for 2 weeks, didn't play for 2 weeks, only had 1 day of preparation, and he didn't even practice. 1 day of practice in 2 weeks, right? He got thrown into the fucking game. He played terrible. Josh Gordon pulled to the side. Who they've been trying to trade, whatever. It's fucking false. You trade Josh Gordon, I will de-pledge my allegiance to the Cleveland Browns. You trade him. But he had 1 day of practice, and I understand that's why they're giving him. He looked bad. He looked bad. But I like Cleveland in this game. Cleveland's got a defense that you don't want to fuck with, and we're going to find out how good Cleveland's pass defense is because they got Calvin Johnson. I like Cleveland getting 2.5 points at home. Somewhere around 24-13. I do wish we had Hoyer, but I'm having a feeling Brandon Weeden might step his game up and shine. So I like the Browns in that game. Minnesota, at home, giving 2.5 to Carolina. Cam Newton struggled this year. Minnesota's probably going to start Josh Freeman. New era in Minnesota. Adrian Peterson might like that. Got a passing game now. Maybe. So we're going to take the Vikings in this game, at home. We're going to take the Vikings. Probably in the neighborhood of, I'm going to say they're going to score 31 points. And I'm going to say Tampa Bay or Carolina's going to score 21. So I like the Vikings in this game. Houston Texans, at home, giving to St. Louis Rams 7.5. I'm sorry, Matt Schaub, look. You are horrible. You're flat out garbage. You know, you said you don't even read Twitter. You said you don't, Twitter don't bother you. You said it don't bother you what people say. You block it out. Then why did you delete your Twitter? If it didn't bother you, you would have deleted it. So you deleted it. It bothers you. You're mentally weak. That tells me one thing. You're done. I like the Rams with the 7.5 points. I like the Rams to win the game outright, to be honest. I'm not believing in the Houston Texans. I've never been believing in the Houston Texans. I like the Rams to win this game outright, so they'll take 7.5 points. New York Jets giving this is good. The New York Jets are giving the Pittsburgh Steelers 2.5 points. Let me tell you how this game is going to go right now. The New York Jets have a beast front seven like the Cleveland Browns. They're going to get pressure on Roethlisberger. The Steelers have no offense, virtually no offense. They're not going to be able to run the ball on the Jets. Geno Smith. Geno Smith. Proved myself wrong. He proved myself. I didn't think he was going to be any good at pros. But the game he had Monday night when he beat Matt Ryan proved me wrong. And I admit when I'm wrong. I like the Jets to win this game somewhere along the lines of the Steelers' defense is garbage. It's old. It's garbage. I call the Steelers a Jericho 11 for a reason. Now they're living up to that billing. You know, the Steelers have lost 13 of the last 15 games, I believe. 13 of the last fucking 15 games. This team is done. We've seen it happen 2 years ago when they got beat by... Look, when the Steelers got beat by Tebow in the playoffs, we knew it was going to be bad. That's when it started. Steelers don't lose games like that. That was a downfall. They have to admit they're rebuilding right now. They have to do a better job rebuilding. Because the Steelers' rebuilding process is horrible right now. So I like the Jets to win that game outright. Well, they're giving 2.5 to Steelers, but I like the Jets to win 24-10. I don't see the Steelers doing much offensively. Maybe a touchdown, whatever. Maybe a pick six, maybe. Buffalo Bills at home. Getting 7 against Cincinnati. Interesting game here. Interesting game. Buffalo down to Thad Lewis, who used to quarterback for the Browns last year. He did a pretty good job, but I do not believe in the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sorry. We beat them. We humiliated them. They scored, I think, 1 offensive touchdown in 9 quarters. And here's the thing about Cincinnati. Andy Dalton is goddamn garbage on the road. The Bills have a good defense. I think they're going to cause problems for Cincinnati. And I actually think, with the points, you're golden. But I think the Bills upset Cincinnati at home. And I tell you right now, if that A.J. Manuel would win the game, I'm not a believer in Cincinnati's defense. I'm really not. I know it's good, but it's not as good as advertised. So I like the Bills to win this game outright. Tennessee Titans getting 13.5 points at Seattle. No Jake Locker, no win. Seattle will rout that team at home. Seattle's coming off, I think, a loss. It should have been 2 straight losses, 1 at Texas, but it came off a loss against the Colts last weekend. It was a good game. I like the Seattle to win that game 34-3. You're not going to say they're going to get humiliated. Seattle's going to kill Tennessee. Jake Locker's out. It's over until he goes back. Jacksonville getting 27.5 points at Denver. We all know the line here. It's a big line. I have mixed emotions on that game. I think Jacksonville's probably the worst team I've seen in the 25 years. That being said, they beat Alabama 105-0. Alabama wouldn't score first down, or wouldn't get a first down. Peyton Manning, he can put up points at will. I mean, I could easily see this game being 48-0. But then again, I could easily see this game being 24-10, 24-7. I can easily see this game being closer than the score. So my upset of the week is I'm taking Jacksonville with 27.5 points. It's hard to lay 27.5 points. It really is. So I'm taking Jacksonville. A lot of people are going to look at me crazy. I know they're in Mile High, but Jacksonville, if they're looking at themselves as professional athletes, you cannot go into that game. Realize, no, 27.5 points, take the Jaguars. I'm taking Jacksonville. Arizona getting 10.5 points at San Francisco. Bruce Arians got that team playing pretty well, although Carson Palmer is prone to throw fake sixes. Colin Kaepernick, what happened to you? What happened to you? I don't know. Your receivers are all injured. I like San Francisco to win that game, but I like Arizona with 10.5 points. I really do. I think Carson Palmer put about 200 yards up, maybe 2 interceptions, but I think the final score will be somewhere in the vicinity of 27-17, 49ers. New Orleans Saints, now here's a good game. At New England. You know, New England, in my opinion, is the worst 4-1 team ever. Tom Brady has absolutely no one to play with. They're giving 2.5 points to New Orleans Saints. Great matchup, great passing. I like the Patriots this game. I'm going to tell you why. Gronkowski's back, who I was wrong again. I didn't think he was going to be back, but he's coming back. It's going to open up New England's good passing game. It's going to make Brady a lot better. I think the Patriots coming off a loss win this game 34-27. So take the Patriots. Dallas Cowboys at home giving 5.5 points to Robert Griffin III, Robert Griffin the Nerd, whatever you want to call him. Both names suit him. I am taking the Cowboys. I'm going to tell you why. Washington Redskins defense sucks. The Washington Redskins suck. I like the Cowboys to win this game. Tony Romo's going to pass for another 400 yards against them. Maybe even 500. Maybe, you know what? Mark it down. Tony Romo's going to have another 500-yard fucking game against the Skins. So I like the Cowboys in that game 41-13. 41-21, 41-24, whatever. And the Monday Nighter at San Diego coming up a tough loss at Oakland last week. They're getting 1.5 points at home against Indianapolis and Andrew Luck. Without Ahmad Bradshaw, your running game is no more. You can't rely on Trent Richardson. He's a 2.5 yards per carry back. I think they're starting to realize that in Indianapolis. That being said, I think Andrew Luck's the real deal. If I was starting a team right now with a quarterback, he'd be the number one choice out of anyone in the league, given his age, because I think he's got the most upside of anyone out there. He's a beast. I like Andrew Luck. I think the Colts go in there as road warriors again. I think they beat San Francisco, who's a hell of a lot tougher than San Diego, even though San Diego needs a win. I like the Colts in this game to win this game 31-27 in a barn burner, a shootout, wild shootout, maybe higher than that. But I like the Colts. Let me make sure I went through all the picks, because if I didn't, I'm going to be mad. There's going to be people all mad, and I don't make a separate video. But those are my picks, Colts. Let's see. Went to the Bears, Kansas City, Show Me State, Philadelphia, they win. Yep. Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, Houston, Jets, Cincinnati, Seattle, Denver, San Francisco, New England, Dallas, and Indianapolis. Those are the picks. I will give you English Premier picks tomorrow, because we all know, when you want to win money, you come to the honey, the motherfucker that knows all about winning. I'm a winner, and I'll give you the best chance to double, triple your motherfucking dollar.